Hello students, welcome to the 10th video lecture of electrostats. In the last video lecture, I left you people at a 9th property of electric lines of forces. Now, let us proceed with the 10th property. 10th property of electric lines of force, the number of lines per unit cross-sectional area perpendicular to the field lines, that is density of lines of force, is directly proportional to the magnitude of intensity of electric field in that region. It means as much more will be the number of lines per unit cross-sectional area, that much more will be the electric field strength. And this can be represented mathematically also, like this: delta n by delta A directly proportional to E. This is the number of lines per unit cross-sectional area, and that is directly proportional to electric field. Okay, so remember it. Next, 11th property, electric lines of force do not pass through a conductor. It means there is no electric field inside the conductor because electric lines of force do not pass through a conductor. Hence, the interior of the conductor is free from the influence of electric field, because if electric field lines will not pass through the conductor, then inside the conductor electric field will be 0. So therefore it is free from influence of electric field. Let us understand this line, this statement with a diagram. Let us have an electric field with the help of these two plates. One is positively charged, uniformly charged plate, and another is negatively charged plate, which is also uniformly charged. Definitely the electric field, if there is nothing in between the plates, the electric field lines will be uniform, equidistant from each other. Now, if we place the conductor between them, solid or hollow conductor, there will be no field inside the conductor, electric field lines will not pass. You can see after placing the conductor between the plates, the induced negative charge will produce on this face, because these are the positive charges, and again induced positive charges will appear on this surface because of these negative charges, right? But pattern of electric field lines will be different, which will be like this, because electric field lines will not enter inside the conductor, so they will start from positive charge and they will end up to the negative charge like this. Also here, the electric field lines will start from positive charge and they will end up to the negative charge like this. And there will be no electric field lines inside the conductor. This particular phenomena is called as electrostatic shielding. Why electrostatic shielding? Because this conductor is shielded from the electric field. There is no electric field or electric field line inside the conductor. So therefore, this region is shielded from electric field, and this phenomena is known as electrostatic shielding, right? This is a very important topic or property of electric field lines. I can say the most important property of electric field lines. This is also a frequently asked question of the board examination. Next, 12th property, electric lines of force can pass through an insulator. This is very sure that electric field lines can pass through an insulator, but it does not pass through the conductor, right? So in this slide, a very important topic we have studied, that is electrostatic shielding. And how can we understand the electrostatic shielding? So with the help of this diagram. Next, electric dipole, another new topic. Electric dipole, a little bit introduction I gave you in the last video lecture. What is an electric dipole? Again, we'll have the definition of electric dipole, and with this topic we will introduce a new physical quantity, that is electric dipole moment. But after studying electric dipole, then we'll proceed to the electric dipole moment. So let us have the definition of electric dipole, though I have already given you the definition in the last video lecture. So again, let us revise. Electric dipole is a pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a very small distance. If equal magnitude of charges and opposite nature of charges are separated by a very small distance, this combination is called as electric dipole, right? The electric field produced by a dipole is known as dipole field. Whatever be the electric field produced by this kind of combination, this kind of arrangement, that electric field is called as dipole field. Electric dipole moment. I was talking about this only when I started the electric dipole. It is a physical quantity, and electric dipole moment is a vector quantity used to measure the strength of an electric dipole moment. So electric dipole moment, electric dipole moment's value as much large, that much more will be the strength of electric dipole. Okay, so let's have it. First of all, we'll have the arrangement of electric dipole, then we'll express the electric dipole moment. So for the arrangement, let us have the negative charge first. At this point, negative charge minus q is placed. Another equal magnitude of positive charge plus q is placed at this point. Let us join these 2 points. This particular length from this point to this point, from this charge to this charge, is 2L. Let us consider it is 2L, though it can be considered as L also, but for the purpose of convenience in the derivations, we consider it 2L. By considering the length of dipole as 2L, the derivation becomes simpler, right? This particular length, which is represented, which is assumed as 2L, this is called as dipole length, right? Now this P is electric dipole moment. Remember, it is a representation of electric dipole moment, P, and this is a vector quantity and its direction is from negative to positive charge. Remember, it's a vector quantity. Electric dipole moment is a vector quantity and its direction is from negative to positive charge, right? This is the expression for electric dipole moment. Vector P is equal to q into 2L I cap. I cap makes it as a vector term, right? So electric dipole moment is the product of magnitude of either of the charge and the distance between the two charges, right? This is the magnitude, because since the magnitude of these two charges are same, so we take the magnitude of either of the charge and distance between them, and then when we multiply them, we obtain the electric dipole moment, right? Same thing is written over here. The magnitude of electric dipole moment is the product of magnitude of either charge and the distance between the two charges. Same thing is expressed over here. The direction is from negative to positive charge. Just now I have told the electric dipole moment's direction is from negative to positive charge. Do remember it. The SI unit of P, electric dipole moment, is coulomb meter. You can see over here the SI unit of Q is coulomb. SI unit of term 2L, 2 does not play any role in the unit, so unit of L, length, is meter, so therefore coulomb meter. A very important note about the electric dipole we are going to have. What is that? And ideal dipole is the dipole in which the charge becomes larger and larger and the separation becomes smaller and smaller. So what is an ideal dipole? If the charges are larger and larger and distance between the charges is smaller and smaller, it means if very large magnitude are of charges are separated with a very small distance, so that particular combination is called as an ideal dipole, right? So in this video lecture we have gone through the remaining left out properties of electric field lines, a very important electrostatic shielding, and we have introduced the electric dipole also. What is an electric dipole? How can we express the electric dipole moment? And what is an ideal dipole, right? Now, in the next video session, we are going to calculate the electric field intensity due to a dipole on two positions. One is on the axial line of the dipole. Axial line will be what? If we extend this line to this direction or to this direction, so that line will be called as axial line, because this line is along the axis of the dipole. And second position will be the equatorial line. Equatorial line will be what? The perpendicular bisector, the line which is the perpendicular bisector of the dipole length. It means this kind of line, okay, will be the equatorial line. So at these two positions, at these two lines, axial line and equatorial lines, we are going to calculate the electric field strength due to a dipole, but in the next video session. And these two derivations are very important derivations for the board's point of view. Alternatively, every year almost they are asked in the board examination, so you have to pay attention and wait for the next video session. Till that time, keep on studying, keep on working hard. Thank you so much.